Hey everyone, Jennifer Lee Chan here from NBC Sports Bay Area. The 49ers are looking as healthy as they've been since 2025, the 2025 season started. So many players returned to practice today, most notably JAUAN Jennings. Out on practice, suited up, dapped up John Lynch, hugged Kyle Shanahan, then went in to do individual drills. He resumed his spot at the top of the depth chart. He and Ricky Pearsall, as the 49ers receivers paired off and did drills, he was up there with Ricky Pearsall. So I would assume that he is getting ready to suit up for week one against the Seattle Seahawks in Seattle, and practice kind of went on as usual. Now, because it is regular season format and structure, media is only allowed to be out there during warm-ups and in individual drills. So we do not get to see whether they have him working out on 11-on-11s. We only saw him do individual drills, but it was fun to see him greet players in the huddle. Fred Warner gave him an extended greeting. Jordan Elliott gave him a hug. A lot of players, definitely made sure to greet JAUAN Jennings as he returned to the huddle for the first time in 6 weeks. So got to see him out there. He looked good. He looked mobile. He didn't have any protective sleeve or anything on his calf, but he was out there. So Matt Barrows reported that there has been no compensation change at all for him, but we'll see as we go along. Now, he did not speak to the media at all today. We did see him in the locker room, but he did not talk. The PR told us he's not going to talk to us today, maybe later on in the week, still with the bright blue hair. But good to see JAUAN Jennings back at practice. We also saw the return of Russell Gage. So Russell Gage was out there, so it was Ricky and JAUAN as the first two wide receivers in drills. Then it was Robbie Chosen and Russell Gage out there at the second group of wide receivers to go out there. So I feel like it's going to be Ricky Pearsall, JAUAN Jennings, Robbie Chosen, Russell Gage, and Sky Moore as your 5 wide receivers for week one. So good for the 49ers offense to see JAUAN Jennings out there and also Russell Gage. So that's how the wide receivers look. Also on the defensive line, saw the return of Kalia Davis, and Yetur Gross-Matos made his practice debut. He had a giant brace on his right leg, but seemed to be going through drills as normal. But both of those defensive linemen back on the field. Also, Dominic Pooney returned to practice. He'd been working on the side field and looking like he was getting there, trending towards being ready for week one, but now it looks as though Dominic Pooney will take over again at right guard for week one in Seattle. So a ton of players back. Those 5 obviously very important for the 49ers in week one. There was only one player on the active 53 that was not practicing with the group, and that was Jordan Watkins. He was working on the side field, and a good sign for him is that he was wearing the GPS vest. So he's wearing the kind of brace. You see it, everybody asks, it looks like a sports bra, but it has GPS trackers on it. So they are monitoring his speed as he goes through individual workouts. He was working out on the side field, but he's the only player on the initial 53 that was not participating in practice. I did see him walking into the locker room after practice, and he did not, again, no extra protection on his ankle, no issues at all walking. So I would think he's trending towards being ready soon. I don't know how quickly they'll be putting him out there, but he was the darling of early training camp, connecting with Brock Purdy, running great routes, getting open. So I know it's difficult for a wide receiver to step up and really be a significant part of Kyle Shanahan's offense in their rookie year. But he was a guy who definitely looked like he was getting there. So missing these 2 weeks of practice because he injured it. He didn't even know he injured his ankle after the first preseason game. So he did figure that out. The second day he was having some discomfort, and then came back, high ankle sprain. So that was the first preseason game. He missed the last 2. Not sure when he'll be back in team drills, but it is trending like he will be back, and they won't need to put him on IR, I don't think. Have not heard anything about Kendrick Bourne's visit at all yet. It is almost 2 o'clock, and I'm here at Levi Stadium, so no word yet on Kendrick Bourne and his visit, but the return of JAUAN Jennings, maybe they don't need another wide receiver. We'll see. So that is all I have for you right now. I'll be heading back home and then be talking to you a little bit more. But we did speak to Michael Williams. I spoke to Nick Martin. Trent Williams spoke as well. So we did talk to quite a few players. I'll throw some clips up here as well. Michael Williams definitely feels like he has gotten a lot of positive encouragement from Nick Bosa. He's learned a lot from him, hand placement, footwork, all of those different things. And this is something I asked him when he first came to the 49ers. He had never really spoken to a left tackle or an offensive lineman before he got here. So he has been working with Trent Williams, something that Nick Bosa kind of encouraged. Nick Bosa does it a ton. After every game, I always see Nick Bosa and Trent Williams kind of having like a one-on-one conversation. When Michael Williams came in, I said, "Hey, do you regularly talk to your opposing left tackle or the left tackle on your team, right tackle on the team?" He's like, "No, haven't done that." But now already, in his first season with the NFL, he's already taking advantage of learning from one of the best, who is Trent Williams. I asked Trent Williams for a progress update on Michael Williams, and he said, "Hey, you should ask his coach." But he said, if he can perform up to what everybody thinks he can, he's going to have a great career. And so he says, the ceiling is really high for him, and he thinks that he's got a lot of potential, that he can play on the outside and the inside. But, he said it's one of the most interesting things he's ready to watch is Michael Williams in action, playing against someone else who's wearing a different color jersey. So he is waiting for it as much as the rest of us to see how Michael Williams does on the field. It's just, it's less than a week away in Seattle, and it'll be fun to see those young guys out there taking advantage of their reps. I spoke to Nick Martin on the side one-on-one, and I asked him about the transition from his first game and who got him to kind of helped him and supported him through until that second preseason game. He did miss a few tackles, but really had an outstanding second game, really a lot of improvement. He said Fred Warner was with him along the way the entire time, but also it was just, taking advantage of looking at his film. And like Marquis Siegel told me, he said, "Hey, the angles are completely different once you get to the NFL from college. Completely different system, and the speed of the players is so different." So for those two guys adjusting to the speed of the NFL, they've already improved, which means I think they're going to continue to keep improving once the regular season hits. So good news from them. We were supposed to talk to Nick Bosa, but we didn't get a chance to talk to him. And again, JAUAN Jennings will be available later in the week is what they said. So 49ers are closed tomorrow. They are off, no practice. They'll probably do film study, preparing for the Seattle Seahawks. Then they have practice again Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. I'll definitely be up here Wednesday and Thursday. Matt Maiocco will be back, but just good news for the 49ers, and you could tell the vibes on the field were so positive with JAUAN Jennings being back. Michael Williams said, he's like, I could feel the energy just from JAUAN Jennings being on the field, just how much he brings to the field, how positive he is, and he seemed to be in a good mood. But yeah, it'll be fun to watch these the next few days, how they all interact. Does he stay healthy? Does he stay on the field? All those players, Dominic Pooney, Kalia Davis, Yetur Gross-Matos, JAUAN Jennings, Russell Gage. Will those guys stay healthy enough to continue to practice throughout the week? But this is the healthiest the 49ers have been in quite some time. All the 52 of the 53 on the field. And you look at, Marquez Valdez-Scantling, who's kind of like 53 plus. He's like 54 or 53B, 53A or B. Because his salary is guaranteed. So he's on the field, even though he should be on the active 53, he's taken that practice squad role because the pay scale is the same for him. So for him to kind of do that so they can keep an extra guy on the roster helps them out, kind of doing them a solid. And so we'll probably see him get elevated week 1, I would think. I think he's a guy that has a lot of veteran experience, so probably will be able to contribute faster than maybe Jordan Watkins coming back and feeling healthy. I think they'll want to kind of ease Jordan Watkins into it with the high ankle sprain and also just being a rookie in Kyle Shanahan's system. So that's what I have for you today from Levi's Stadium. Great news for 49ers fans and for the 49ers team. JAUAN Jennings has returned to practice. And again, no news as far as I know about Kendrick Bourne's visit. I do know he goes to the Washington Commanders for another visit there tomorrow. Both front offices are very familiar with Kendrick Bourne, what he can do, and what he brings to the team. So we'll keep you updated as much as possible right here. Please subscribe, comment, let me know what you'd like to see. I'm going to post more videos. I did post several of JAUAN, so take a look at those. I think I did post another one of Vitor Gross-Matos as well, Dominic Pooney. They're all back. So everybody who said, they're so injured all the time, hey, mark it down. It is September 1st, and the 49ers are almost completely healthy.